Now get those hands up.
Hey, Bob, give me a break, will you? I mean, I'm tired.
You can put one arm down.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, they say. And, well, it's better to make sure that the Kennedys, who are running in order to destroy the deep state, that they don't have any protection. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Third time's a hat trick. Wink, wink. Don't mean to be so cruel about it, but I guess gallows humor is all you're left with when you read headlines like this. RFK says Biden administration rejected his request for Secret Service protection in the 2024 race. Now, why exactly would that be? Shall we read, ladies and gentlemen, from the candidate himself? Since the assassination of my father in 1968, candidates for president are provided Secret Service protection. Not me. Typical turnaround for pro forma protection request from presidential candidate is 14 days. After 88 days of no response, several follow-ups, the Biden administration just denied our request. Secretary Mayorkas says, I have determined that Secret Service protection for RFK Kennedy Jr. is not warranted. Our campaign's request included a 67-page report from the world's leading protection firm detailing the unique and well-established security and safety risks commonplace to my candidacy. Wow. Holy crap. I mean, it's not just that the Biden campaign doesn't want RFK to run against him, it's that they may actually want him dead. Holy smokes. And I can explain to you why, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and look. How is RFK doing in the polls? Well, Robert Kennedy Jr., Biden, Trump in new favorability poll. Let's check in. Oh, RFK is more favorable than Biden and Trump. Oh my. He had a favorability of 49%. Uh-oh. Biden has a -9 favorability rating. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. Maybe that's why. RFK has 15% support inside of the Democrat primary. Well, that's a lot of support for somebody who has zero institutional assistance in running for president, is actually being attacked and maligned and sabotaged at every turn. Well, maybe they just don't want Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to get the signal boost that he's a serious candidate, because maybe that 15% would go to 25%, would go to 50%, and maybe Joe Biden would lose in the Democrat primary. RFK is savaging Joe Biden across the country and hurting his chances. Maybe this is why. Or maybe it's something far more nefarious. We'll get to what they did to his uncle and his father in just one moment. But let's go ahead and have a look, ladies and gentlemen, at the invocation of the 1968 assassination in this article here. So apparently the Homeland Security Secretary, Mayorkas, said that the Secret Service protection is not warranted. Secret Service spokesperson referred Fox News Digital to the Department of Homeland Security when asked for comment, but the White House also did not immediately respond. The killing of Kennedy Jr.'s father at a Los Angeles hotel came nearly 5 years after his uncle, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated in November 1963. Both of these guys, and here's Kennedy here at the Ambassador Hotel before he was assassinated. This is RFK's father and his mother. Both of these guys had become the sworn enemies of the deep state, had become the sworn enemies of the CIA, the FBI, and they had promised to, and I quote, scatter them to the winds, shatter them and scatter them to the winds into 1,000 pieces. Now, what happens if you are a tool of the superstate and the establishment? If you are a useful imbecile who has willingly signed off on every single budget request and every single spying operation and every FISA court warrant, if you have given super powers to the super deep state, well, then even your dumb kid gets Secret Service protection. Check out Hunter Biden walking into court in a 20-car motorcade with Secret Service protection. Wow. That's interesting. Why does Hunter get Secret Service protection?
And they support him as he continues to rebuild his life. That private citizen, as she describes Hunter Biden, was escorted to court this morning in a multi-car Secret Service motorcade, presumably funded by taxpayers. So it's frustrating to reporters here that we can't get answers for the taxpayers about the Secret Service protectee we're asking about, or about any potential links to the president. The prosecutor said in court Hunter Biden's being investigated for matters other than tax evasion and unlawful gun possession, revealing that the government could potentially bring a charge under the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And given that this other universe of material could potentially implicate President Biden, we wanted to ask if the White House would support a special counsel to oversee this, to ensure the independence of the Department of Justice and AG Merrick Garland, who reports to President Biden. But Karine skipped over Fox in today's briefing. We were not called on. She did call on, however, another reporter who tried to get clarity about the shifting answers around Biden's prior claims that...
Got it. Okay, so every single crime is wiped clean. You are baptized and washed clean by the superstate if you are a servant of that state. You even get massive protection from the Secret Service inside of a $30,000 a month magical Mediterranean resort-style home in Malibu that's been turned into a crash pad for the Secret Service agents who protect Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's Secret Service detail are staying in a $6 million Malibu mansion. Oh my. The home is being rented by the president's bodyguard at $30,000 a month. The Spanish-style villa has a gym and a wine tasting room, and it overlooks the ocean. You see? That's what you get. If your dad rubber-stamped, here's Hunter Biden's Malibu pad, how does Hunter Biden live there? Here's the Secret Service Malibu rental. There you go. Hunter Biden's a private citizen, so why does he have Secret Service protection at all? Good question.
I mean, I think this is good news, what's happening, because if this was you, would it go better or worse? When your last name is Biden, you know, not only are you afforded exemptions from all kinds of ludicrous behavior, even the mention of going after him was seen as off limits by the press. You can go after Trump, that family, but how dare you go after the Biden family? This guy... He got a motorcade to court. I mean, who are they protecting him from? You know, an angry pimp or the United Federation of Hookers? I mean, seriously, I get he's the son, but come on. This just kind of, I think when you see this, you know that they're being treated differently all the time. So I think that's why this is kind of an interesting twist, because I didn't see this coming, because I've pretty much given up on our justice system.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're looking at here is an obvious plot in order to boost one candidate via the Secret Service, which is the protection racket around the Bidens is just unbelievable. Secret Service went to the gun store to try and do a shakedown when Hunter Biden illegally bought a gun. Oh, man. Remember that one? When they tried to, like, muscle in and grab the paperwork to prove that Hunter Biden never purchased a gun? Yeah. That's one of the charges that he was supposed to plead guilty to. Didn't have it. Sad trombone for any individual who wants Robert F. Kennedy to be able to just run freely like any other person who has a right to run for president in this country via the Constitution. Robert F. Kennedy detailing here in a podcast with Mike Tyson, of all people, how the CIA went ahead and killed his father.
There were 77 eyewitnesses in the kitchen of the Ambassador Hotel when my father was killed. And many of them had a view of what happened. You know, very few of them could view the whole scene, but they could view parts of it. Everybody, without exception, places Sirhan from 5 feet to 10 feet away from my father in front of him. He never got behind him. He was always in front with a table between them, a steam table. Sirhan fired 2 shots at my father. The first one hit Paul Schrader in the head. The second one hit a door jamb at my father's head level behind my father. Then he was grabbed by Carl Olker, who was the concierge at the Ambassador Hotel, and by Rafer Johnson and 6 other people. There was a dog pile. And they all piled on him, and they grabbed, the first thing they did was grab his hand. They directed in the opposite direction, and they could not get the gun away from him. And he was powerful as a like a Superman, they said. So they were all trying to take the gun away from him.
this big.
He's a little guy. And he fired 6 shots in the other direction. All of them hit people. One person got hit twice, but all those bullets are accounted for. There were only 8 chambers in his gun. And 2 were fired toward my father and 6 in the opposite direction. And we know what happened to every one of those bullets. My father was shot 4 times. One of the shots, and all 4 times were from behind. What? And with a gun that was, and they were all what the coroner, Thomas Noguchi, said, contact shots. And the barrel of the gun was touching my father when the trigger was pulled.